Yeah.
Stand back, but then
Yeah.
eventually you let the head go.
Yeah. It's got to go way, 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 way back. But not like bowling ball back. It's like take your hand to the back of your head. It's a super good question. It's like right there where your occipital ridge, right where the base of your skull and your neck join, that place is a pushing back. So when you take your head back and your chin up, you push like there's something right there, and then take your other hands at the top of your head. So even as you push into your first hand back, you extend through your top hand to go back, and it's both. Very active push, very active reach, but then huge big bend in your cervical spine for sure. Yeah, I mean, this will make your neck strong, but if your neck isn't strong enough to do it, it'll make your neck hurt. Yeah, and so, always it's your neck, and anyone who's ever hurt their neck, like, your whole nervous system runs through your neck. So if your neck's having trouble, you're having trouble. So way better, all this can be done with your head behind your ears, right in between your your ears right in between your arms. So the whole thing can be done without taking your head back. What you get by taking your head back is the gaze, and that when the arms are in the overhead plane in this position, it's hard to get into your upper back with your head right there. And when you lift your chin, take your throat back, and take your head back, that muscular effort in your neck starts to open the thoracic spine. So you get the bend in the upper back in this position by using your head that you could kind of get here without taking your head back. So, and when we get our arms up straight like this, such a good question, when we get our arms up straight like this, the thing is, you're a long lever, so it takes a lot of strength and develops more core strength to get the bend. But it's a warm-up, so you can certainly be like this doing it. Okay. Totally fine. Yeah. Yeah.
So if your head can go back, but your arms can't go back any further, should you not take your head back? Should you keep your
No. Take your head way, 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 way back. And then, because your head, you'll start to see that point, and your hands will be up there.
Okay.
And then when your hands see the point here, then you look here, and then you start to reach here. And so if you see where you're going all the way down the wall, you'll start to go deeper by using your eyes and by using your head. What we don't do in the beginning is we got beginners and they look like this and they come in the door and they do poses like cobra, like this. And their arms are like this and there's no bend in their back, but their neck is the only thing bending back. So we do a lot in the beginning. We say, look straight ahead, get your arms back, get your back bend happening. That's kind of like beginning to intermediate stage work. Well, beginning level work. But then once you get that, you can get some bend in your upper back, you can use your head a lot. And especially when you want to do drop backs from standing in Urdhva Dhanurasana, if you don't take your head back, you don't see the floor. And it's a blind fall. So it starts, but you never want to take your head back at the expense of your neck. So it's always like...
So when you cue double chin, I love that.
Yeah.
People get that.
Yeah.
Do you look forward and then give yourself a double chin and then look up?
Yeah, the first chin lift is to establish the natural curve of the cervical spine. So it's and the only reason we say lift your chin is because most of us walk around looking down. So to get to neutral, it's a lift. And then and if you take your hand like in this C shape and swallow, there's a bone that bounces up and down. That's the hyoid bone. And if you take your other hand to your low belly and then stick your throat out, and do the double chin, and then stick your throat out, and feel underneath your belly hand what happens to your low belly when you do that double chin. You should feel a tone come to the low belly. So the hyoid bone, when it moves back and the head moves back into alignment, you get a subsequent toning to the pelvic floor and to the low belly, which then also protects the back and the back bends because there's tone here, not just a bend in the back. So it's not as much as the outer tone of make your abs really strong, but it's a more internal tone. So, and it has even to do with the digestion, that when we swallow, it starts to turn on our digestive tract and all the whole long story with that. But the double chin is action. So you put a natural curve in. This is an integrative move, which also stabilizes the pelvic, the muscles in the low belly. But then the final one, the next part is that part we were talking about. It's a bigger lift and a press back. Then there's an extension and a reach so that you're keeping both sides of the neck as long as possible until the very last when you have to eventually take the form of the pose, which has a big bend. But the idea is as you take your neck back, you're taking it back as evenly as possible, which is different than just take your head back. Which, yeah, yeah. So those are good. It's worth spending time on because it's kind of nebulous for so many people, you know. And so that we get the big answer, just take it back, or we get like, oh, just look straight ahead and take the problem away. But these things will build strength. But again, if they're building, if you're not, if you're doing too much, too soon, too fast, then they're not strengthening. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, throw your head back. Yeah, exactly. Throw it back intentionally, conscientiously in these 5 steps. Okay, step your right foot forward. We'll put it together with the turn. It's like there's the cues, and then what do we mean by those cues? Squeeze your left knee, and then bring your left heel forward. Lift your low belly up, stretch up. Then lift your chin. That's your natural curve. Then hyoid bone back, 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 back. That integrates the curve and strengthens your neck. Then press the back of your head back, simultaneously extend through the top of your head and look back. Then find a point on the ceiling and stretch up and reach to it. Once you touch that point that you can see, take your eyes over the top of your head, stretch back more. Then come on up. Good turn.